But if I say I diddled somebody, it means molested.
Query theories.
Okay. On the count of 3, and then pause, and then go.
What do you do?
1, 2, 3. The query theories.
What? Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Query Theories with myself, P, and Pennygrit, as always.
Here I am.
Here you are. And we are back with some more fun little questions.
We sure are, and we've also decided that we're going to start shouting out something we've been enjoying over the week with each episode.
Yep.
And I'm going to begin by saying there's a TikToker I really like. Her name is Madeline Pembleton.
Okay.
She's like a socialist, but she's super cool and has like a clothing line, which she runs in a socialist way.
Oh.
So everybody gets paid the same at the company.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no matter what you're doing, you get the same money. But she's written a book, and it's called I Survived Capitalism and All I Got Was This Lousy T-Shirt. And I am listening to that on Audible right now, and I love it. I do wish it was British, because obviously some of the money stuff isn't the same.
Oh, right. I'm guessing she's American?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's basically like money stuff. Like if instead of Warren Buffett being like a privileged old man, if he was like a punk kid who knew about money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's
I haven't heard of this lady, but you know what? Being paid equally, that's the dream. Yeah. Right?
Yes.
That's the fucking dream. Oh,
well,
God.
Well, then deep down you're a socialist, because that's what they are all about.
Yeah. No, well, of course it's good as an idea. She
makes it work.
She's executed it well then.
Yeah, I'm not sure I could. Like, I've thought to myself, could I do a socialist company?
Yeah.
I don't think so, because for one thing, I'm not as smart as her.
And
also, I'm not very good at, like, I don't know. I feel like I just end up doing all the work.
Like in the podcast. If anyone is unaware, Pennygrit does do like all the work.
I do all
she is good at the stuff. If you've seen the animations on like TikTok and Instagram and stuff, and the pictures. Oh, I love the pictures.
It is a surprising amount of work. You know, when we talked about doing this, I was like, it'll be like 5 hours a week.
Yeah.
And, just to be safe, I'll say 6.
Yeah.
No, it's more than that.
Yeah.
It's like having a part-time job, except one where I don't get paid.
Yeah, unfortunately. So if you want, we don't have a Patreon because we do not
we're going to get one.
Yeah, one day when
soon.
And
you can send us $2.
But, someone I'm sure has spoken about this, but one day we want to make merch and stuff like that.
And maybe we'll get a sponsor and stuff. The thing is, we don't have that many listeners. So you can probably help us out by sharing this with your friends or even your enemies.
Yeah. Honestly, share it to anyone.
Yeah, tell your mom about it.
Like a fun STD, share it. Everyone deserves it.
It's
herpes
like an STD where you don't even get a rash. No rash.
No rash, no bad side effects. So just like sex, share it. Have fun.
Yeah.
I've been away, as you know, to Somerset.
In that episode where you said you're going on vacation, and I was like, where to? And you're like, I don't know.
Yeah. I didn't know where I was going. I know that was genuinely, I had no fucking idea because I'm not the one who booked it. But I went. It was nice.
Good.
It wasn't. I want to shout out Airbnbs.
Okay.
I know it's a big, because to be honest, I didn't know, I thought Airbnbs were owned by like a company. I didn't know it was like people's houses who then register to the company like Airbnb. Yeah. I thought it was just like this one company that just picked random houses and were like, yeah, we'll turn that into an Airbnb.
Sometimes it is.
Oh, is it? I don't know how it works, but you know what? I've gone to about 2 Airbnbs in my life, and both of them have been pretty good.
Yeah, I've had quite a few good Airbnbs. A few years ago, I was doing some traveling, and I am stingy, so I would get like the cheapest thing, and I stayed in this room just outside of Paris.
Ooh.
A private room.
Yeah.
However, it was in some guy's flat, and it was actually his room, and he just slept on the couch.
Really?
And he was on the phone all night, giggling outside of the door.
That's really unnerving.
Yeah, and when I got there, there was a sheet on the bed that had, like, crisps all over it.
Okay.
And, like, food. And I was like, do you have another sheet.
yeah.
And he was like, another sheet. Yes. And, I am fine. And so he gets another sheet, puts it on there, and I'm like, how about a pillowcase?
Yeah.
And he was like, I only have one.
Oh.
So I was like, fine. I'll use the only one clean one you have. And then later on, I went to the bathroom, and beside the toilet in a bucket was the sheet that he had taken off the bed.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, man.
Yeah, also, he didn't look like the guy in the photo. Like, you know how there's a photo of the host?
Yeah.
He looked a bit different, and it's like, is that him?
Is that the same guy?
Am I in the house of a weird murderer?
I don't know. I feel like, do Airbnb people come out to like inspect the house? Surely that's
no.
No, they don't. Really?
No.
Oh, I thought they would have like a representative who then goes every so often to make sure that everything is like, you know.
You could list your spare bedroom on Airbnb right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
And you could list it with a turd in it. And nothing's going to happen to you except you'll get bad reviews.
Oh, well, there you go, I guess. But, you know, for the ones I've been in, I'm going to big up Airbnbs.
I've been in a lot of nice ones too. Usually when I'm traveling with someone else, because they have standards that I don't have.
You're just like, if I can sleep on it, then it's fine.
My only standard is there's got to be no bugs.
Yeah, and I mean that's a given, right?
Yeah, that's like, the one. For me, other than that, I can endure a lot of things, and I have. Yeah.
I mean, the one we stayed in was in literally the middle of fucking nowhere. It was like on a farmland, and it was, when you switched off the light, it wasn't like city dark. It was pitch black. Because there was no street lights anywhere close. We weren't close to a main road. It was all side roads. And then you had to go through another like tiny gravel road to get to the area. And dude, the darkest I think of, and it was silent.
Did you look at the stars?
Yeah. You
can see a lot of stars.
Yeah, dude, it was really nice. There was cows, but they were asleep at night, so you wouldn't really hear the mooing, apart from the morning, where it sounded like someone had opened a portal to hell. Because a group of cows sound terrifying.
Yeah.
Which I was surprised about. I love cows, favorite animal, but as a group, no, they will kill you. They will.
Yes, they're
easily.
Angry. I told you they're angry.
You did, but I still believe it's quite difficult to piss off a cow.
Well,
it seems like one of those things. If you look at it
wrong, it'll be like, I'm gonna fucking get you.
I'll kill you, me. But yeah, that's what I've been up to this week. Our episodes are now catching up to our real life podcasts recordings.
We are running out of episodes.
We are, so we are trying to be a bit more on it. Of course, as you know, you have moved, so you know things are a bit more different now. We might try to do them online.
Yeah, we'll see how the quality is with that. If it's worth doing it that way. I mean, I know it's a thing.
Yeah. I listen to podcasts where people aren't in the same room.
Yeah, and you can get good software. So
you know something I saw like yesterday. So from your recommendation of Who Shall on the Floor My Wedding, great podcast.
It is. It's good.
Fucking amazing podcast. It's not a long podcast, but it is. Like
the season was 8 episodes or something. Yeah,
it was genuinely one of the funniest, weirdest, and most intriguing. Because I still, if you haven't listened to Who Shat on My Floor at my wedding, please do. It is a genuine laugh.
I agree.
Please.
Who Shat on the Floor at my wedding is
great podcast
and a great name.
Yeah, amazing name.
See, you can say shat and it's not a swear.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of words you can say that aren't swears because, like, you know, I get, but you can
like
say
you could make a podcast like Who Forked My Mom.
Yeah. The thing that I found amazing was that they uploaded a picture on their Instagram that they were 9th on like this table of like best podcasts of like 2020 something or other.
Okay.
And they were 9th. And I was like, what the fuck? I mean, they deserve to be higher for one. And for two, how did they get even on there when it's so little episodes?
Yes. I think they already are in broadcasting. At least one of them is.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah. One of the wives.
If you've already got something going on like that, it's a lot easier to get an audience.
And also, Detective Lauren Kilby, she is funny. she's just naturally funny.
They're funny. It's a funny podcast.
It very much is.
It's a concept that I like.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a detective, but really silly. She's not. You'll listen to it.
You'll listen to it, and you'll like
great.
it.
But yeah, no. Forking. So you know the word diddle, right? My roommate was telling me that diddle is like it's a word that usually means for children, right? Oh, that person is a right, but that's what he was saying, right? That's like it's a pedo word. So I had to look this up. And diddle can mean many things.
Diddle could mean you're diddling around in the shed with your collection of bananas.
Yeah.
It doesn't, but if I say I diddled somebody, it means molested.
No. Apparently diddle can just mean you have had sex. I have diddled this person.
It doesn't know about that.
I looked it up literally yesterday evening. I had to look it up. It just means to have sex, but it doesn't mean like in a negative...
It is negative. If you said...
It's not a fun word to... It's a fun word to say, but it doesn't sound fun to do.
If you said to me, I diddled a lady, I'd be like, I'm calling the police.
See,
I'm calling 999.
I feel like in the context of some words, it does sound kind of creepy, to be honest.
Yeah.
But if you say, I'm diddling about, I guess...
I'm diddling about doesn't mean I'm going around molesting people.
Yeah, it just means I'm just kind of fucking...
Walking around.
Walking around, man.
Yeah,
I'm just
walking.
walking.
Around.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's something that just came to mind.
Yes, definitions by P and Pennygrit.
So, as always, we've got some questions. I specifically have a question for you.
You do.
I do. This question actually came off the back of watching natural disasters. And I thought to myself, what would be the worst natural... For you personally, what would be the absolute, oh my God, this is terrifying natural disaster?
Okay, so as soon as you suggested this topic... A particular natural disaster came to mind for me, and it was a volcano.
Oh, yeah.
Now...
Pompeii style.
No, it was not in our lifetime, okay? And apparently, it was the worst time to be alive.
Okay.
It was the year 536 AD.
That's a while ago.
Yeah, okay.
That is definitely past our lifetime.
They called it the Year of Darkness, even though the effects went on for long after that year.
Okay.
Okay. What kicked off this year of misery was probably a volcano, they say.
Yeah.
Probably from Iceland.
Yeah.
That's where the bad volcanoes are.
Yeah, they're all up there for some reason.
Well, the ash from the volcano blocked out most of the sun, and it led to what they called a volcanic winter. For most of the world.
Really?
Yes.
So this must have been a big explosion.
Yeah, and it blacked it out for 18 months.
Really?
Yes.
That can affect like a fuck ton of shit, man.
Yeah, so you could see the sun a little bit like during the height of day, but it was kind of like the moon.
Oh,
so like there wasn't enough daylight, like there wasn't enough light to see your own shadow at midday.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, so it was dark. The temperatures obviously dropped.
I mean, it had to massively, right?
Yeah, so that led to crop failures, famines, and with it being cold, it drove the rats into people's houses.
Yeah, of course, because they've got nowhere else to go.
Now, the rats, they caused the plague of Justinian, which
I've not heard that.
It's the bubonic plague. It's the first,
shit.
It's the first recorded plague.
Really?
Yeah, so not only are they in darkness, but now they've got pustule people all over the place. Yeah,
and it's cold, no crops, like...
Yeah, and
vitamin D deficiencies.
Yeah, and everything deficiency because you've got no food.
Yeah.
That sounds like the worst possible fucking thing that could happen.
Yeah.
And, we've had volcanoes that were bad even in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Like that grounded flights. When I moved to the UK, Iceland was having volcanoes. And
it's always fucking Iceland.
Yeah,
right?
Because they got them.
They've got a fuck a time.
Yeah.
I didn't know that that national forest in America, fucking, it's got like the world's largest still active volcano.
Is it Yosemite or something?
Yeah, that's the one. Apparently, if that explodes, that would be like fucking insane.
Yeah, and it's not... I don't think we could stop it.
No, there's no way, right?
I don't think it's like...
Can't pour water in it.
Yeah, like when people talk about asteroids and stuff, it's like we could launch a missile at it
Yeah.
and throw it off course. You can't launch a missile at the volcano.
No. I mean,
Yeah,
with
like-
an asteroid, I guess because there's no like gravity, so something sufficient could shift the meteor out the way, right?
Yeah.
But with the volcano, if she's gonna go, that's it. That's
you can't
gone.
just like shoot the fire extinguisher into it.
Yeah, because I saw a graph of you might have been right, might have been wrong. Someone will correct me, I'm sure. But like they said, if it does explode, it will also create other, because it's like on a fault line or something. So it'll create other explosions throughout America. I mean, unlike when that one exploded many years ago. I guess we've got ways to combat like the darkness,
I don't think so. Because
No, I
it's
mean,
in
like,
the atmosphere. What are you gonna do?
No, I mean, like, we've got better ways, like, you've got vitamin D tablets, for example.
and we have lights.
Yeah, and we've got, like, we can grow shit underground and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it would still affect quite a lot of the environment.
It would.
Like,
It would.
if any of you who are listening, of course, have ever been in a natural disaster, one, I'm sorry that you have, and two, tell us about it.
We would be interested to know.
Generally, like, natural disasters are terrifying, but also very interesting.
Yeah. I mean, you can't beat a first-person story
Yeah.
about anything
Yeah.
to do with historical events,
That's
including
true.
natural disasters.
Yeah. So for me personally, I was thinking about this, and England's infrastructure is not made for a lot of horrible weathers and a lot of natural disasters. Things like earthquakes would fucking tank this country.
Yes.
I feel like a lot of English infrastructure is very much built on, no, nothing bad happens here. So I feel like if even a tiny earthquake had to wobble things about, especially London with its skyscrapers and shit like that, things would go insane.
And isn't the ground like mostly made of chalk or something?
Yeah,
and that's
the ground
why
is weak. I mean, the ground we're currently on is quite flimsy at
the
best.
ground under this building is definitely flimsy.
Yeah. And the thing is, I know quite a few other places that the walls are just fucking paper mache, right?
Yes,
like
yeah.
the place I work in, like you could literally you could punch the wall and your fist would easily go through.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a bungalow, but like there's so many places here. I feel like a earthquake of significant amount would destroy this country.
Yeah.
I see when I watch earthquake videos and people are outside and everything starts moving, it kind of looks fun in a weird way, right?
I went to a earthquake exhibit at the Natural History Museum, and it was fun.
Is it?
But that's because it wasn't killing
Yeah,
me or
well, yeah,
ruining
you're not-
everything I own.
Yeah, you're not like, fearing for your life.
Yeah.
But it kind of looks fun. But then I think of the actual impact of afterwards, and Jesus Christ.
I think it depends on the earthquake, too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
a little one. I've been in little ones where I'm like, did that happen?
I mean, like around here, earthquakes have happened. Well,
Yeah.
aftershocks from somewhere else
Very
have
tiny.
happened. Very tiny, like little wobbles, but nothing enough to like shake the country. But then I'm thinking of something like a tsunami. The height somewhere like Japan and places like that have things like Japan has the worst. I'm maybe sure they've got the worst like fucking tsunamis, right?
Yeah.
Like like if a tsunami happened in Brighton, right? Fuck, Brighton's gone. That's it.
Yeah,
The-
and I feel like because of where we are positioned, it
Yeah.
doesn't happen, but that doesn't mean it never will.
No, that's
I feel
true.
like it would just wipe the country away because it's so small.
It's a tiny place, Like, imagine the Isle of fucking Wight, man. That would be gone. That would be
Yeah.
a memory. Like,
Yeah.
the Isle of Wight is, if you don't know and you are bad at geography, Isle of Wight is literally a tiny island that's slightly off England. It's not that far. You could take a ferry to it, but it's just a small island with a
Yeah.
lot of old people. If a tsunami had to happen, that's it.
and
but-
I mean, it would take out all the coastal towns.
Yeah. They're not built. The infrastructure is not there for large bodies of water.
No,
You
and
know.
it's not there for changes. to
Yeah, and also it
Wait,
reminds
please.
me of the Netherlands. The fact that the Netherlands is mostly built onto fucking water. That would
Yeah.
be it for the Netherlands. I mean, they've got their dikes and all the stuff they have to stop the water, but I don't think that's enough, man. I feel like a lot of countries just haven't thought forwards of, hey, what if just randomly this natural disaster had happened, how would we deal with it? Even if there's like a tiny bit of snow, England basically stops. Like, you know, people, you can't get a train, you can't get a bus, everything just stops.
Yeah.
And that's just a tiny bit of snow.
And a lot of things are quite old-timey here.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
we've got a lot of Victorian buildings.
Yeah, and they just haven't changed, and they aren't going to change. Like, sinks that have 2 different taps, one for hot and one for cold.
Yes.
Why? I know why. It's a throwback to when they had hot water tanks up in the attic.
Oh, right. I didn't know that. I didn't know why
want
they
your
had...
water mixing because you couldn't drink the hot water because it came out of this nasty bumhole
tank. Yeah, of course.
But yeah, get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of those taps. I don't want like scalding hot water or freezing cold. And if you want to wash your hands, you just have to mix it together really fast.
Or you have to put it in the bowl first, and that kind of defeats the point of washing your hands, really.
Yeah.
I feel like this is why I don't have baths. This is why I'm a shower man. I mean, back in the olden days, it was like what your dad would go bath first, then you would get in and bath.
Not my old
in the
days.
Victorian times.
You know, sharing bathwater, I know it still exists. In fact, when I first came to the UK, the lady I stayed with, she would use her son's bathwater after he had a bath.
Really?
And I would just rather not have a bath.
No.
I'd just rather stand in the rain.
Yeah.
I'm not sharing bathwater.
No, that's grim.
Yeah.
That's actually fucking grim.
Yeah, I'd rather just get a baby wipe out or something.
Because you don't know what kind of stanks the other person just had, you know?
Any stanks.
Right.
It's got some bum in it.
It does. And if you're someone who does wash your booty crack in the bath, guess what? Now it's pooey.
Yeah,
and then someone else is jumping in. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, now I'm going to wash my face in here.
I'm going to get it in my mouth. Just wash my teeth a bit.
I'm drinking it.
It's just grim. Not for me. But my worst natural disaster, which I still haven't said, would probably be a flood. You know, watching floodwaters run.
Yeah.
There's no swimming out of there. There's no, I'm going to grab onto something. That's it. As soon as you're full in and the water's rushing, because, you know, I used to have the myth in my brain that water didn't weigh anything. I thought, water obviously doesn't have like a weight because it's wet. It's just liquid, right? Yeah. But then I found out as a teen that no, water's fucking heavy. And will kill you. Yeah. Like, you know, like a ton of water falling on your head would probably like break your neck or something. You could die from water just falling on you.
You could definitely die. And also, if you're in fast moving water, you could definitely die.
And that's why I think I'm terrified of just that feeling of just being completely helpless. Like you're trying to just grab onto, you can't breathe, you can't see. Nah, fuck that. That is a nightmare for me.
I mean, I guess some natural disasters kind of meld into one another, like a tsunamis would have a flood element.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And you know, obviously with the fucking sewage systems as well, you're swimming in poo, in rain, like it's just grim, man. It's absolutely disgusting.
I'd really rather there not be poo.
Yeah, but there would be. 100% there would be poo. Like, well, you know, the way our sewage works, there'll be poo. Also, tornadoes being flung, just helplessly flung into the air. And if you're still, like, conscious and you just fall.
The town I grew up in had a tornado not long before I moved there.
Really? Was it a big one?
A girl I knew had been in it.
Really?
As a baby, and she broke her arm.
Oh, but she survived. She survived, right? But it's still terrifying.
Yeah, like, and she doesn't remember being a baby with a broken arm.
Well, no, obviously you wouldn't.
And I mean, could have been worse.
It could have been,
like, flown off to Kansas.
Yeah, but no, natural disasters fucking scare the shit out of me.
I don't like them.
No, I don't think anyone does. I don't. You know, one of my colleagues said during. He's from the Philippines. He said one summer, one time in the Philippines, they had like one of the worst fucking floods like ever in their country. I don't know the name, but he was saying that, you know, there was like dead bodies just floating down the fucking city. You know, and it's fucking terrifying, man. Like, what do you do? And, you know, he was even talking to me yesterday about how, like, even regardless of how much money you had, it was, like, fucking pointless. You couldn't get help. You couldn't pay someone to. Can't throw your money at the water and then it decides, oh well, fuck, I'm rich now. I'm gonna fuck off.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
I guess
it's
if you had loads of money, you'd have some sort of natural disaster plan in
Yeah.
place. But
but
that's only if you're like a billionaire.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the billionaires are building bunkers. Let's not forget.
Yes.
Elon Musk is Musk and Mark Zuckerberg they're all getting ready for something.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
It's probably World War III.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to touch too much on it, but I mean, it's already a depressing topic as is.
Let's bring war into it.
You're saying I don't want to touch on it, but it is terrifying. You know, as a young man, I'm not an old man, but I'm not a British citizen, but I am still terrified that someone might decide to force a citizenship down my throat and then be like, cool, now you're an English citizen, come to war.
I think they
Let's get you in there.
I think they would draft you anyway if they were doing a draft.
Do you think so?
Yes, because the choice would be to leave
Yeah.
or be drafted, I think, if you're a permanent resident.
Ah, right, because I don't know the laws around, you know, the kind of drafting and citizenshipness and how it all works.
Well, the UK currently doesn't have conscription, so there's
Mhm.
no laws around it.
Oh, so I could.
In the US,
Yeah.
if you were a permanent resident, you would still be drafted, from what I understand. So,
Oh.
you know, I'm pretty sure, I think it'd be the same here. So they'd be
Shit,
like, you're
well.
going to war.
Regardless.
Get ready to fire a gun.
Nah, I couldn't. I don't. God, I know I say I couldn't, but you know, if it was down to it and someone was generally trying to kill me, I guess I would have to, right?
Yeah, well, you know, since they've mentioned conscription,
Yeah.
people have been like, oh my God, I'm not going to war.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I don't know if you'd have a choice.
No, you
though,
wouldn't.
because I don't think anyone who's been drafted in the past was like, I like this.
No. I mean, there was there was a lot of like kind of I guess in World War II when I was, you know, doing World War II in school, a lot of young people thought it was like kind of a patriotic thing, right? It was like, you know, I'm doing it for my country. I'm going to come back as a hero and all this stuff. And then they actually go there and they're like, oh my God, this is fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like reading some of the accounts, like it's not glory. And, you know, you come back and you've got fucking PTSD and horrible things happening. You know what I mean? Even current soldiers, you know, they come back and they're fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, there's only so much of like, I don't know, shooting children that you can do before you're like, I'm not right anymore.
Yeah, you know,
need help.
I feel like as soon as you don't feel bad for killing someone, I think that's when you're like, yeah,
I think they do feel bad.
Yeah, obviously,
But,
like, you know,
I
you're
mean,
taking a life, but
you don't necessarily have a choice.
no, and I feel like a lot of people do get brainwashed to think that they're going to be these fucking national icons and they're gonna have statues and shit. And
There's
it's like,
definitely a lot of like propaganda
Yeah.
going on, being like, if you join the military, you won't be a loser anymore.
yeah, you'll get all the bitches.
Yeah, you'll get some ladies. Look, here's one. We filmed her. She's on TikTok.
But they don't tell you about the rest of the horrible things.
Yeah, like the fact that you're not going to be anywhere near that lady.
No,
And you're going to die.
you're going to die.
Yeah.
If you're a soldier, I mean, why do you do it? Maybe I don't know. Maybe you went in as a child. Maybe, and so for a lot of people, I've realized it's kind of like sometimes they feel like they won't have a future. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you go in because you're like, oh, if I'm on the outside world, you know, I don't have a job or money or whatever, but the army will accept me. And
Yeah.
they go in because it's like, oh, my fucking hands are tied now.
Well,
Like,
my
you
dad
know.
was in the army.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, in like a million years ago.
Mm.
Because my dad, if he was alive now, would be in his 80s. He'd be nearly 90.
Really?
Yeah.
Old man.
So he had a driver's license that said he was 16 when he was 14. Because
Oh.
they didn't ask for a lot of ID back then. And his father, my grandfather, took him down to the driver's license place and said, yep, he's 16, because he wanted him to be able to drive the tractor.
Oh, right. Okay.
So because of that, my dad joined the army 2 years before he was legally allowed.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck. Was he?
He was like a little child
Yeah.
in the army, and he was stationed in Germany.
Was he? Okay.
And yeah, I
Which
think he
war
joined,
was this?
It wasn't a war.
Oh,
It
okay.
wasn't during wartime.
Oh, right.
But I think he joined because he felt he didn't have any other option. He had fallen out with his parents.
Yeah.
And he was just a kid. He was like stealing apples out of an orchard to survive.
Oh man, that's shit.
So yeah, he joined the military and he liked the military.
Yeah, I mean, some people do.
Yeah.
Some people, make lifelong friends and learn great skills there. Like, I'm not saying the military is all like fucking death and war and awful things.
I'm
there
sure
are
there
some
are
people.
positive aspects to it.
Yeah. There, you do make like really great friends. I used to work with someone who was in the military for years, and now he can't go because he's got many broken bones and metal all over his body. But, I did ask him once, I was like, would you still go? And he was like, in a heartbeat, I would 100% go. Because that's all he knew, right? He was happy then, it was that kind of lifestyle. But for me kind of person, nah.
I'm sure there's like a sense of camaraderie that can't be beat.
Yeah.
Knowing that you could, especially during wartime.
Yeah.
These people they have your back.
Yeah. They would literally die for you.
Yes.
Like, and I feel like there's no better person in the world than someone who would take a bullet literally for you, right?
Yeah.
Like that person becomes your friend for life, right? Like, and you do the same in a heartbeat. And again, it could be brainwashing, could be training, it could be genuine friendship and genuine camaraderie.
I think if you spend a lot of time with people, you develop a bond. Like when you're a kid and you're in school and you make friendships that last, or at least for me, have lasted a long, long time after school. It's because we were forced together.
Yeah, I mean, they live together. They sleep, eat, train together.
Suffer through things together.
Yeah, and I guess it kind of is that kind of trauma that sticks them together because no one else will understand.
Yeah.
Apart from someone who's been there. And sometimes it does make me feel annoyed or sad when you've got people who pretend they've been in the army. Because
that's weird.
Yeah. Because I'm like, one, what are you getting from that? Pretending that you were there,
Stolen valor.
Yeah. And, all these people who've genuinely been there and have had horrific problems, you'll never understand, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, no, I was in platoon 5, DXK53. And it's like, why are you there? Like, I know that a lot of those people do get a lot of shit. Like, there's countless people who've pretend to be police officers, for example. Why?
I mean, if you're pretending to be a cop, you're probably doing something fucking dodgy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm an officer and I'm here to rape you.
Yeah. be a degenerate person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
because I don't feel like you'd pretend to be a cop for any other reason.
No. I know there was been a story about two fellas recently who've been going around pretending to be immigration officers.
Right.
I don't know if you've heard of that.
No.
They've been quite not local to here, but local to like London-y area.
Okay.
I guess this is whatever.
I'm an immigrant in London.
But I think they target people that look very much brown or
I could be Polish.
Yeah.
I look Polish.
Do you reckon?
I don't know. I have rosy cheeks and I feel like most Polish people have that.
Oh,
like
it's dude, I just remembered. It's next to we're close to episode 10 for another face reveal.
We will. And I will show you my rosy cheeks.
Yes, you'll see Pennygrit in all her rosy-cheeked wonder.
Yeah. You'll notice that we'll have changed slightly from the last face reveal.
Yeah, it's,
It's a different angle.
Yeah, it's the lighting, I think it was.
Yeah, it's the makeup.
The person who took the picture is not a professional.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've been going around pretending to be immigration officers and they knock on your door like, oh, we're here to check your papers, blah, 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 blah. And then you're like, oh shit, yeah, of course, come in. Let me show you my immigration papers. And suddenly you're being robbed. Fucking hell. Yeah, they're just robbing people and...
That's terrible, because you know what? I would be like, oh, come in.
Yeah. To be honest, I would be very suspicious because I check my email religiously.
Yeah.
And if anything to do with immigration was coming my way, either my mum would let me know because she's got my documents and stuff like that, or I would get an email saying, by the way, we're fucking visiting. I don't think immigration officers just show up.
I think they do if they suspect you of being... Because they do raids.
Oh, fuck, they do, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But they'd be like, we're here to see your papers. And I'd be like, what papers?
Yeah.
I don't make papers.
What the fuck? Yeah.
Like, I
forget. I mean, they do just fucking come to your house, don't they?
They must have to know you're foreign, though.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I feel like it would be more. Would it be more sufficient to pretend you're a bailiff? Maybe.
I thought you were gonna say to pretend you're a baby. Like if they knock on your door, be like, goo goo gaga, no papers, bye bye.
No, I mean, I'm trying to think of a good way to pretend to get into people's houses.
I wouldn't let a bailiff in, so no.
No,
but I would let immigration officers in.
Yeah, I guess so.
I feel like I have to.
I feel like to be to pretend you're an immigration officer, you would have to know that person is an immigrant.
Yes, which would be hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Not with me. They'd know I'm an immigrant.
How?
As soon as I spoke.
Yeah, but you could still have your citizenship. Like, there's no way to tell.
Yeah, but I'm still an immigrant.
Yeah, but again, they wouldn't be able to tell that. Like, it would have to be, I feel like it would have to be a planned thing. You would have to get to know the person, maybe meet them at the pub, for example.
You would have to hear them speak, I would say, would be the number one thing.
Yeah.
Because, like, race is not going to indicate if someone was born here or not.
Yeah, true.
So you'd have to be like, is there an accent? And then if they have an accent, you'd have to follow them home, find out where they live, find out who they are.
It's just a long process.
And then you'd get in my house and you'd be like, there's nothing but gum wrappers in here.
You feel sad for the person.
And like the TV is small and there's just a small TV and a cat.
Man, you know, it would be so... I don't know how I'd feel if I was a robber, went to rob someone, and they literally had fuck all.
I would feel bad.
Dude, I feel like I would bring them stuff.
I would be terrible at crime like that.
No,
I couldn't do that kind of crime.
It feels like so much effort, right?
I just would feel guilty no matter what.
Yeah, no, like
even
if you're
if
a
they
decent
had like
person,
the same amount of stuff as me, I'd still be like, I can't take you.
Yeah. It feels like one of those things. If I'm going to rob someone, I'm going to rob someone who's way richer than I am,
me
right?
Too. And then I'd be like, haha, fuck you, because I have that kind of mentality.
Yeah, like, you know, if you're going to do crime, still from the elites of society, not the fucking.
You're not going to be able to break into their house.
They've got cameras.
Although, have you ever seen The Bling Ring?
No.
Oh my God. It's a true story.
Okay.
Basically about these teenagers in LA who found out when, like Paris Hilton, for example, she would post that she's going to a certain nightclub.
Sure.
So they'd know she's not in her house.
Yeah.
And they would break in and it was exceptionally easy and they'd take her shit and they'd take like tons of shit. And she didn't even notice because she's got so much shit.
Yeah.
And they did it to other celebrities too.
What the fuck? How did they do that?
Well, they just broke in, like very easy to break in, like a key under the mat and stuff. There wasn't like any of the security you would imagine someone with that kind of wealth would have. And they just took like Rolexes and shit.
Yeah. I mean, I say that, but then quite recently during the World Cup, I think it was, one of those footballers, one of the fucking rich ass English football, he got broken into.
Okay.
Like someone broke into his house and stole, like a lot of people, they stole like fucking loads of shit, and they still I don't think they've even found who it was.
Kim Kardashian got broken into once.
Really?
Yeah.
But you'd think these people would have cameras everywhere, right?
Yeah,
security
they do,
guards.
But then what?
Yeah, true. I mean, like
especially like with the Bling Ring, this was before they had like facial recognition technology. So like you've got a grainy image of some kid's face.
Yeah. And especially if you're wearing a mask, it's, you know.
And I think they did partially cover their faces some of the time.
Yeah.
They got caught.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they got caught.
Oh, shit. Did they get too...
They got a little...
Too greedy.
And I think they also got too, like, obvious because they got a bit cocky.
Right.
But yeah, they got caught, and I think they got a little bit of prison time.
A slap on the wrist sort of situation.
I mean, they were kids.
Yeah, I mean, and also, it's not like all these people can't fucking rebuy that shit back in an instant, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, if I was a celebrity, I'd be like, oh my God, there was people in my house.
Yeah.
So it would bother me.
Yeah.
And I think that's
fair.
Fair.
Regardless, I think it is an invasion of your privacy, right? It's like the ultimate invasion of your privacy. Like, knowing someone has been in your house.
Yeah, diddling all your stuff. And like we were saying, diddling, not molesting.
It makes you feel really, unsafe, and also just really paranoid.
Yeah,
because
only it's not paranoia if it's true.
Yeah, and also if you're one of those people who owns a massive house, you know, it'd be like that movie, that guy who's in your walls or something, right? Like, you're fucking going to sleep and suddenly you hear someone rustling downstairs in your kitchen. You're like, oh, fuck. I don't have any animals.
If I was wealthy, I would have the security system, like, the maximum security system. There wouldn't be any kids getting into my house because they'd try the doorknob and there'd be like a guillotine that
chops their hand off. You've got evidence right there.
Yeah.
Literally caught red-handed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like, you know, with fame obviously comes, you know, your face is everywhere, especially if you're someone who relishes in, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
Like, again, going back to TikTokers, like people like Elphaba or CLA. You know CLA? I told you about CLA.
Is that the blonde woman?
Yeah, she's really loud.
She's British, right?
Yes.
And she's like, I'm rich.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
I'm famous, darling. I'm really famous. I've got 3,000 followers on TikTok, darling. Don't even. Like, she's a cunt.
I think both of them make huge amounts of money on
they
TikTok.
do. They make a stupid amount of money, but they are the height of cuntism.
I can be a cunt. I'll go on TikTok live.
Honestly. But like these people, I think the reason they make so much fucking money is because they are just, you know, like they're just degenerates.
Yeah, people are hate watching them.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
I don't think Elphaba or the other one have like a lot
genuine
of real
people,
fans who are
yeah.
like, I enjoy you and I am happy about you existing. I think mostly it's people who are like, oh God.
Fuck it, there she goes again. Like, you know, I as much as I don't like Elphaba, right? I think, you know, people are mean to her for her being a transgender, which is cunty as well. Yeah. Like, if you hate someone, hate them, but be like respectfully hateful, right?
Yeah, I don't
like,
because if you disrespect that aspect of Elphaba, then you're disrespecting everyone else who is trans as well.
Yeah. Like
just like if you don't like someone and you point out that they're stupid and fat.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, but I'm fat.
Yeah. It's like, you know, if you're gonna hate Elphaba, hate her for like the things she's doing, not the like everything, like, you know, the person she is sort of thing. Like, it's weird to try to explain it. But like, you know, Elphaba is very much up her own ass and thinks that she's a fucking like an A-list celebrity. And so does CLA, like sort of people, you know, and it's just when I see those kind of people making so much fucking money, and then you've got genuine people who are trying their very best to do artistic work or be like amazing people of society, and they get nothing. Yeah. It pisses me off.
Sometimes even if the artwork is quite good.
Yeah.
But also, okay, I gotta say.
Go on.
I think that like time lapses and stuff of artwork are quite boring, which is why I don't do them myself.
Right, okay.
Same with tattoo time lapses. Like if I watch a TikTok of a tattoo and it's a time lapse, I just squiddle-doodle-doo fast forward to the end because it's fucking boring.
Really? I like seeing the progress.
I don't. It's boring and slow. And I think most people would agree with me, and that's why they never succeed.
See, no, I saw I follow this person on Instagram. They do like hyper realistic paintings.
Yeah.
Like of like usually shiny things, and they usually have reflections and all this stuff. And I love seeing the progress of them just, you know, having a sketch to it looking like the actual thing. Like I love to see how they did that. But I get, you know, what you mean. Like it can be boring. You're just like, fucking just show me the end product already. Like
if there's like another audio over it, like someone reading Reddit or something, now it's good because my brain is stimulated like it needs to be.
Right.
But if it's just like music and a time lapse of like 2 minutes of someone
drawing something,
it's
a bit
so
long.
Boring.
But it's just, you know, I see all these. Do you know what a lolcow is?
A what now?
Lolcow.
Oh, lolcow, yeah.
Like, you know, Chris Chan and Jupiter and whatever. All these people. Like, those people, it just blow my fucking mind how much likes follow. And I get that most of it is hate. Yeah. I get it. It's trolls and stuff. But they still make so much fucking money. Yeah. Like, have you ever heard of someone called Daniel Larson?
No.
Daniel Larson is, he is an interesting individual. There's too much to get into right now. It would literally have to be an entire podcast in itself. But Daniel Larson went to like LA, and people were paying for him to go to Disneyland. People were buying him like expensive headphones which he would wear for like a day, destroy and throw in the lake. And people were just buying him these things. And this person is terrible. He is a genuinely terrible person. And it makes me so angry. Like, why do people do this? Why do people give their money to these kind of people?
I don't know. Because they could just give it to me.
They could give it to you. They could give it to a charity or someone who's going to do some.
Or they could keep it and buy themselves some sandwiches.
Honestly, if you're out there being one of those people, Jesus Christ, give us the money.
Yeah, we'll have a Patreon soon.
Honestly,
you can send it there.
Give us the money. We will give you really good shit. We'll make merch. We'll do other shit.
Or if they want really bad shit.
Oh yeah, if you want.
I could go on TikTok Live and
we could be insane.
I mean, we're not allowed on TikTok Live because we don't have enough followers.
Oh right, well,
you need more than 4.
We could be insane. We could happily be crazy and say outrageous things.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that hard to be controversial in this day and age.
Oh no, it's easy.
I
don't think I think I care too much what people think to be controversial.
I guess. I mean, I could decide to go after the Swifties, but I do like Taylor Swift, so...
I don't have anything against Taylor Swift.
No, I think she makes really good music, actually.
I mean, I'm not a big pop person, but like her music is fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Like she's got...
when it comes on, it's like, yeah
it's a bop.
La, 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 la.
She's got a good fucking songs, right? But like the Swiftie community is currently the easiest to rile up. Okay. I feel like I could go on Twitter and put something controversial. I don't like Taylor Swift's new song. I think she's bad. And then the floodgates would fucking open.
And what happens to you?
They just attack you. They
what?
They're just
a gun?
Yeah, well, they probably could if they knew who I was. They would find me and shoot me. Yeah. But you know, it's like being on X.com, shit website, is very, very tricky because it is a minefield of controversy.
Yeah.
I don't think I could go there and say something without trying. I would have to be dead neutral with anything I say. That's why, like, if you do follow us on Twitter or X or whatever,
as you should.
Currently, there's nothing on there because we don't have a lot of people engaging with it.
I feel like there's no reason to not post things, though.
True.
No one's going to know this podcast exists if we don't post stuff about it.
But, you know, I should really get on that. But do follow. Again, send us pictures of where you are, like, while you're listening.
Yep.
But don't send us a picture of your poo.
Or your penis.
Or your vagina. Or your breasts.
If you're going to send any penis vagina photo, it needs to be wearing a hat and a mustache.
I probably would still not look.
I would.
Yeah, I mean, you can, but you know, follow us.
You know, I'd retweet it.
Would you?
Yeah, I'd be like, have a look at this.
Hey, everybody.
Look at craftsmanship.
Look at this penis. It looks so gentlemanlike. But yeah, no, follow us on the websites. No, I don't think there's any. Usually I've got like stories of shit. Oh no, I've seen a lot of news articles recently. Did you hear about that dog that ate that couple's money?
No.
There was a news article. I think it ate like $40,000.
Okay.
And then when it pooped out the money, they literally had to put it back together again.
So it chewed it up.
Yeah, it ate literally. I think it was in a suitcase or something. It went in the suitcase and ate all the fucking money.
You know, if my cat ate all my money, I'd be really annoyed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You would be, right? That's 40,000.
I'd be more annoyed if he chewed it up.
I don't understand why these people didn't put their money in a fucking suitcase. Not a suitcase, in a bank, right? Like, put it in a bank or something.
Maybe they're trying to evade their taxes.
Maybe it was karma. Maybe it was just genuine karma. Like, you know, they deserved it because that money was like fucking blood money or something silly.
Yeah, it probably had like poo on it. The dog was like, I love eating turds.
Dogs love eating.
You know, they probably smuggled the money over in their anus.
People who do that, I don't understand how you can shove so much stuff inside you.
Yeah. And then get it back out
yeah,
reliably.
It seems very much like a thing you would have to go to the hospital for, right? And then they'll ask questions. Oh, you've got $40,000 up your ass. How the fuck did you do that?
Yeah.
And then there'll be police at your door like, hey, by the way, like, what the fuck?
Although the new notes are quite thin. So
The
I feel like
paper
you could
ones.
roll up, like the plastic notes.
Yeah. You could
I
roll
don't think
them up-
Americans have the plastic notes yet. So
No.
if you're an American, even though I know no one from America listens to this,
Yet.
but if you are listening down the road and you're American, we have plastic money now. The
Mhm.
bills, the money, the notes, they're made of plastic. And they're
Mm.
quite thin, like a stack of...
They're really small, yeah.
Like a stack that's like 100 pounds.
It's quite tiny.
Yeah, it's tiny.
It's quite
so you
tiny.
could roll that up.
I feel like, yeah, you
roll
could
up
get...
quite a few of them.
Do you think you could get £40,000 in your
normal,
ass?
Yeah.
Quite
Yeah,
easily.
especially if you're using 50-pound notes.
Yeah. Actually, that's feasible. You could get 40,000 up your ass.
I think so.
Neither one of us are going to try, unless you want to try.
I mean, if you want to donate 40 grand to the cause, I'll give it a whirl.
You know what? Actually, yeah. You know what? If someone out there is very much determined to see us trying to smuggle £40,000 up our booties,
Yeah.
you are more, honestly, go off.
No refunds, though.
No,
I'm
none.
keeping that money.
We 100%. If someone actually did that, I would lose my fucking mind.
Do you think we'd have to pay tax on it?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
No, why would
Yeah,
we have
because
to?
is it a gift?
Yes.
Or are we being paid?
It would be a gift. If it was like a donation, right?
Yeah, but it's not. There's a term to it, though. You have to stuff this up your ass.
Yeah.
So it's not really a gift.
It's not a paid service though, right?
It might be.
Well, no, because I guess it would be a gift in hopes that you would follow through on your word.
No, because if you don't do it, you don't get the money.
Well, no, if they've already sent the money, right?
Right, and then we just didn't put it in our ass.
I will. We could just
You can
borrow
take
someone else's ass.
Who?
Well, they haven't seen what our asses look like. So we could just look for someone on Craigslist, like, hi, just
for
look.
$200.
Yeah, can you please fit for £40,000 in your asshole?
Yeah, and then don't run away.
Yeah. I feel like that would be a difficult task to do.
Yeah.
But we could easily do that and not just be like, yeah, that's our asses.
Yeah.
Like, what are they going to do? Send another 40,000 to prove it?
I feel like they'd want to watch in person.
Oh, yeah, I mean, 40,000 is a lot.
I would. I'd be like, well, I'm going to have to witness it.
They'll have to come over and but again, we could still use someone else's ass.
How?
We would just have a voiceover.
Not if they're in the room with us. What, are you just going to play a tape recorder coming out of, like, your paid
the
actor's
walls?
mouth?
we could invite them over, but they have to be blindfolded. You could be like,
right, so you could just be like, ow, my bum hole.
yeah, you just be like, oh, listen, I'm super self-conscious. You can sit in the room, but can you please,
How would
like,
they know that it's happening then? No, that's not going to work.
take a picture afterwards. Just take a picture of the general.
I would put it in my butt. If they
Would
gave
you?
me 40 grand, I'd be like, it's going in there.
You would commit to the bit.
Yeah, not like paper notes, though. And they've got to be plastic.
Yeah.
Because those ones are small. So just roll it up into like a few. Yeah, it'd be fine.
It'll be fine.
It'd be fine. Anyway, we have a listener question.
Oh, okay. Always
And
fun.
It comes from Dr. Lolo.
Who?
Dr. Lulu? Dr. Lolo.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so would you rather be in jail for 5 years or be in a coma for 10 years?
Oh, fuck. Okay. I feel like if you're in a coma, though, you're in a sort of prison regardless.
Okay, but you don't know about it.
Yeah, I guess you're... But then I don't know what a coma really... What is... Is it like you're dreaming? Are you just...
I don't know. I think you just wake up and a big chunk of your life is gone.
Yeah, because you
you're
don't see the
all
patches
limp.
of time, though, do you?
Yeah, I don't think you I don't think you feel the passing of time, and
Yeah.
I think your body's all like atrophied.
I feel like... No, I feel like they would move your body parts
Yeah, but you still
in the
wouldn't
hospital
be...
as limber
Yeah,
as you used to be.
just like they might move your body and like shift you so you don't get a bed sore, but your
Yeah.
muscles are still gonna waste away.
Yeah, true. You would lose quite a lot. Okay, so I feel like if you're in a jail, depending on would you would you just be in jail? Can you choose your jail? Because it doesn't say if you had a trunk crime. Okay, if I was
going to say general population.
Yeah, if I was in a jail, you could still retain your friendships and your relationships.
Yeah.
Because you can still talk to people and, you could still fucking learn skills.
Yeah.
Right? So I personally feel like I would want to be in a jail.
Me too. Because
then at least I'm not absent from everything, right?
I think I'd be pretty good in jail.
Yeah, I would be fine in like a low security general population. Like if it's people who've like stolen a few things or...
Is it
like,
only low security and high security, or is there like middle security?
I don't know. That's a great question.
I would say it should be middle security.
Oh, also, I've been thinking... Sorry, carry on.
It should be middle security, like middle of everything.
Yeah, like, you're not evil,
yeah.
But you're not great.
Yeah, you're not max
you're
because
mid.
You didn't do something horrible.
Yeah.
But like... low security just seems like a bit of a holiday.
Yeah, you're basically away for a bit.
Yeah.
Just,
Not that I've been to prison. I don't know. It might be terrible.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna say if any, I am genuinely interested. If you've been to prison, write in.
Yes.
I do genuinely want to know what you don't have to say what your crime was. You can. I know you've tattooed to us a few people that have been to prison.
Many.
Yeah. So tell us how is it like, even if you've been to like just a mid security or low security.
Was it like a holiday?
Yeah.
In there? Yeah.
I'll be interested to find out what it is like in the really bad ones. Like, is it as bad as media makes it sound? Do people fight every day? Do you get stabbed? Is the dropping the soap thing true? Like,
yeah, well,
I don't know.
Think sometimes it is.
It might be. Like, I haven't been, and I don't really wish to. Regardless whether it's general population, I wouldn't want to ever be in prison.
Even if the dropping the soap thing didn't result in an assault,
I
wouldn't want my soap to touch the floor in there.
Probably grim.
Yeah.
There's probably blood, poo, wee.
Definitely poo. And like, I'd be in a ladies' prison, so I guess it would be like, there wouldn't be jerk off in there, but there'd be other stuff.
There would be disgusting things on the
things
floor.
I don't want my soap touching.
Then, in fact, your body touching.
Yeah, there'd be worse things maybe even.
Yeah, but no.
People's yeast infection.
The fact that you said juice as well.
Well, it's in the shower.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that is it for today.
Wrap up.
Thank you so much for listening. We hope you'll rate us 5 stars on whatever platform you're listening on. If you leave us a funny 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or an amusing comment on our YouTube channel, we might read it on the show. Also, if you have a little query you'd like to ask us, you can ask us directly through the Spotify app or through the form on our website, thequerydearies.com. You can follow us on all the major social media networks, and you can see images that correspond with the episode on Instagram. Thanks again for listening. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Be safe. Bye.